Hidden in what is essentially the attic of a very famous London building is a wooden masterpiece, a giant 350-year-old model of St Paul's Cathedral. This one's for model builders, fans of the Birdwoman from Mary Poppins, and mice looking to upsize. Let's find out more! In 1666, the Great Fire of London changed the city skyline forever. It destroyed over 13,000 buildings, many of them medieval, and with it, a much older version of St Paul's Cathedral.
There had been a cathedral on the site since 604 AD. It had been the main cathedral for London. The pre-fire cathedral had been here for 500 years and was a really well-loved building and was central to the life of the City of London. When it burnt down, it was a sort of national catastrophe. It was very important to replace that building with something that was going to be a centre and a focus for people's faith and worship going forwards.
Step forward one of Britain's architectural superstars, Sir Christopher Wren. He was already connected with the pre-fire cathedral as master of the King's works. The previous building was badly in need of repair, and in fact, Wren had submitted designs for work to be done the month before the fire.
Lots of people were interested in designing the new St Paul's, but Wren was the first off the mark. He was able to present plans to the King very quickly using the great model. It took him a year to build, between September 1673 and October the following year, and it was made by a couple of brothers who were his joiners. Wren put so much effort into having the model made because he knew that it was going to be a presentation model that was potentially going to win him the job of being the architect.
Wren was chosen to design and rebuild the cathedral and much of the old city, drawing on his big influence of classical architecture from around Europe. But let's hear more about the model itself.
It's built of oak and it has plaster capitals and plaster ceilings inside. Originally it was painted white on the outside with blue for a leaded dome. And at some point in its history that paint has been cleaned off the outside, but inside there's still a lot of the original decoration that Wren applied, which is a really important record for how he considered the interior of the cathedral should be decorated.
It measures 6.3 metres long by 3.7 metres wide and is over 4 metres tall. But the great model isn't the design that Wren started out with, nor is it exactly like the finished building.
The west front is significantly different, probably because the pillars at the front of the model would not have supported a pediment of the weight that's shown on the model. The dome structure on the model is completely different to how it is in the final building. A lantern on the top of the dome made of stone would weigh many, many tons, many hundreds of tons, and therefore supporting that on top of the dome shape was a real challenge. He and his draftsman worked out that a 3-part dome could be built that would support the weight of the lantern and take it down to the ground. And that innovation is missing from this model and is something that came out of the design process.
And finally, the most important question. Who has to dust it?
We do have, well, it does come to the collections department and conservation, and obviously that's a major operation. The model has to be scaffolded and dusted in the most careful manner, as you can imagine.
It lives high up in the cathedral in the Triforium, which is not normally open, but you can join a tour to glimpse this monster model.